Good evening, everyone, and welcome to This Week from Rockdale. And I am your host, Larry Cox, and it is great to have each and every one of you joining me this evening. And I would like to remind anyone who, if you are on my personal channel, the Larry Cox Facebook page, please go to either the This Week from Rockdale page or go to the YouTube page so that your comments in the chat will be seen. So just a reminder of all that. So let me go ahead now and start saying hi to some folks and thank them for joining this fine Wednesday evening. And it's a little bit chilly out there today. So Jill Oldham, nice to have you. And Jill, I got a chance to meet and talk to Jill today at the early voting where the voices for Rockdale are collecting signatures for the House Bill 1102 to get people tax relief here in Rockdale County. Good evening, Tina Hobbs. Nice to have you here today. Bill LeCount, nice to have you here. Cheryl Garcia and Ben are watching. Nice to have Cheryl and Ben here. William Campbell, it's great to have you here, William Campbell. Charlotte Gellert, nice to have you. And Cheryl Moulton, nice to have you on the show. Anyone else who wants to shout out, go ahead and say howdy. And just I looked at my feed here, and I've got two people who are on my personal page. And if you would like for your comments to be seen, go ahead and go to This Week from Rockdale or go to the YouTube page, and you can comment in the chat, and we can see you there. And that way we'll know what you're saying, and we'll know exactly what's going on. So that's what I'd like to tell you folks. So, hey, just to let you know, early voting is going on in the state of Georgia and here in Rockdale County. And the voices for Rockdale are manning a table out there at the early voting. And so far, Voices for Rockdale have collected over 300 signatures. So they're averaging over 100 a day out there, and that's a good average. That's a good number. We collected 107 or so at the Conyers Fall Festival this past Saturday. So right now we've got well over 400 signatures on our way to our 4,495 that we need to get that petition to enact that legislation to be put on the ballot here in Rockdale County. So you, the citizens of Rockdale County, will get tax relief. Now, yesterday, there was a special guest out there who came to vote, and she came over to see what was going on at the table. And that's Commissioner Doreen Williams. So she was asked if she wanted to sign that. She said no. And then she told some people there they shouldn't sign it. And then she told some people, well, where are we going to get the money from if you do this? Where's the money going to come from? Well, a few years ago, there was another tax issue going on, and people were trying to keep some taxes down. And Doreen made a comment to one of the friends of the show. Well, it's just another tax. If we don't get it here, we'll get it somewhere else. Yeah, and that's the attitude that this Board of Commission has. This Board of Commission has this attitude. We're just going to tax you into oblivion. And that's exactly what they have done. So before the show, I was doing a little research and talking to some folks, and we were talking about the percent of sales tax that's charged here in Rockdale County. So we have 4% state sales tax. We have 1 cent for the e-splost. We have 1 cent for the splost, and we have 1 cent for the host. And that's a total of 7 cents. Well, what a lot of people don't know is that the state of Georgia allows up to 9 cents to be charged in sales tax. So there are 2 more cents that can be taken out here in Rockdale County. Now, they had this forum where they were discussing public transportation. And they all talk about wanting to bring MARTA in and how that plays out. Well, I want everybody to know everywhere that there's a MARTA, there's a MARTA tax, there's a sales tax that's implemented. So a T-SPLOS, transportation SPLOS. So just remember, guys, if this county commission or these folks try to bring in public transportation to Rockdale County, I'd say that other 2 cents that they're talking about, that's going to get charged for that transportation tax. And I'll tell you, because that's not cheap. Somebody's got to pay for it. It's not free. I know there are some grants and this and that available from the federal government and stuff, but it's still the county governments are going to have to pay a portion of that. So right now you get your SPLOST, your host, your eSPLOS and all that such. And I think from some rough numbers we're looking at, those things are going to raise around 20, 21, $22 million a year. So that's for the penny. So if they would do the 2 pennies, 40, 50 million bucks in that neighborhood, you know what I mean? So so that'd be 50, 40, $50 million a year. They do a 6 years a 6 year thing on it. That'd be, $300 million in the neighborhood that they would collect for a transportation plus here in Rockdale County, and then I had also talked to a friend of the show who had a conversation with one of the individuals that's on that courthouse task force. And they were talking about going to other places and talking to folks in Gwinnett County uh, about you know uh, courthouse station, 93,000, right at 94,000 people. So and so I think my connection here is not doing good. I'm concerned about. I lost the connections. I don't know which of my channels is not broadcasting, but one of them is not. I'm back up now. Okay, so what I was talking about, you guys hear me now? Rockdale County population of about 93 something, under 94,000 people. Gwinnett County has over 1 million people. 1,130,000, right at 1,132,000 people. So they were talking about Gwinnett's SPLOS is about $500,600,000 a year. Rockdale County SPLOS is going to be probably, we're going to collect $120 million a year. Now, does Rockdale County, a population of 90-some thousand people, need the same type of facility, a courthouse facility, that a Gwinnett County would need? No. Gwinnett County would need to build a $80, $90, $100 million courthouse. Rockdale County would need, because one of the comparison the person said was that a SPLOST in Gwinnett County, they could spend $40 or $50 million because they get $600 million or so. In Rockdale County, you get $120 million. So this is it, guys. Rockdale County only needs a $30 or $40 million courthouse. We don't need $110 million initial bonding. Because let me tell you what these guys want to build. I have said it time and time again. It will be more than 110. You're going to push $200 million. And at the end of the day, with financing these bonds, you will be $500 million in debt to build this ginormous courthouse in Old Town Conyers. So we could have done the smart thing and built $30, $40 million courthouse over at Parker Road, but that doesn't fit into the plans of this Board of Commission. That doesn't fit into their wasteful spending plan. That doesn't fit into the potential corruption of kickbacks that I believe happen with this Board of Commission. Because you can't explain to me any other reason that we would backs. Could somebody do me a favor and comment just to make sure I'm still broadcasting? Because when I got that signal a little bit ago, I'm not certain if I'm still up. It says I got like 14 viewers, but I just want to make sure that I'm still, uh, you know, throwing out a signal out there. I'm going to actually send myself. So, short, I said comment. Thank you. So everybody, Kathy Robinson, the host. Yep. Bill Count. Yep. So you're good. So I'm good. So thanks for giving me some feedback so I know what was going on, because I was getting some weird signals here, weird messages. Oops, you're not transmitting on one more of your channels. So I don't know what channel I didn't transmit on. It was probably YouTube that I didn't transmit on. So you know how that goes, guys. So uh, I don't want to jinx myself, but this board of commission is totally out of control. Next week, next Tuesday, we're going to have that town hall forum, and I'm going to be participating in that forum. We had to send in what our priority was. What we thought priority was, and my priority was land management for Rockdale County, and I firmly believe that we need to have a plan for Rockdale County as to what we want Rockdale County to look like. And that next week about what I think Rockdale County should look like, but not just what I think Rockdale County should look like, what the taxpayers and the voters of Rockdale County believe this county should look like. Because a lot of people moved here to Rockdale County because they wanted the quiet, they wanted the peace of Rockdale County, and they didn't want, the hustle and bustle of the city. So that's what I think people are looking for. They want to live close to Atlanta, but they don't want that city life. They want that country feel, and that's what Rockdale County historically has been. But and you got the chairman who will make this comment continuously. He'll say, "Well, Rockdale County is not Mayberry anymore." Well, this is the thing about it, folks. Jobs in county government, high ranking, and that's why they live in Rockdale County. They want it to be Mayberry. They want it to have that hometown country feel. They don't want it to be part of the metro feel. We're part of the the metropolitan area, and the chairman touts that about Rockdale County being part of one of the 11 metro counties. I think Rockdale County is unique as one of those counties where it's not a county that has this humongous population. It doesn't have the business ties and the type of business that the other counties have. Rockdale County is a bedroom community, and you've got 3 people who are trying to make Rockdale County something that it's not. And by doing that, they are taxing the people out of homes. They're taxing them out of being able to live in this community. And for what? For selfishness? Like I told you guys, there is no good reason that anyone can convince me of why these individuals do the things they do and make the decisions they make. The only thing that I can truly come up with kickbacks. And this is what I challenge those individuals to do. Prove me right. Excuse will be is, the CFO's leaving, so we're not able to do that. The next person who comes in handle that kind of thing when that happens or whatever. So, but they're not interested in truly being transparent, because if they were truly transparent, then we the citizens would know what's going on in this county. We would know what's going on with our finances and our money. What the zoning and what the land plan for this county ends up being, it is the business of the residents of Rockdale County, because we are the taxpayers and we are the people who live here. The individual who made that statement about Or are we going to get the money? It's just another tax. We'll find another tax. There's an individual who doesn't even pay property taxes in Rockdale County. So this individual is making this strong, bold statement because they don't pay taxes here in Rockdale County. And you know that's absurd to have the type of attitude that that individual has. And you know, and this is the thing about it: the voters of Rockdale County keep putting these characters in office. Now we've heard from a lot of people out there that signed this petition. They don't like what's going on, but they're the very same people who have voted these people into office. They don't like what's going on, but they keep voting these people into office. Something's got to change. We've got to elect different people to office in Rockdale County. Because if we think things are going to get better, if you reelect Washington and Nesbitt, it's going to be the same old thing, same old channel. Now I know they're talking a bunch of rhetoric about freezing property tax and a lot of things they talked about at the retreat and things that they say to people in meetings and such. Well, it's amazing. I'll tell you something. Most of the things they say are actually the things that I talk about and things that I've put in writing and put on different pages that I'm associated with, or emails that I've sent out to different groups that I am engaged with. It's the very things, the very ideas that I have come up with and the very ideas that I have said we should do. Now, they don't intend on following through and doing any of these things, but this is just talk to get you off their back because actions speak louder than words. Because they're doing the talk, but will they do the walk? And that's what I think we need to determine here in Rockdale County. These individuals are doing the talk, but they have failed to back this up with any action. And I firmly believe they will not back up any of that talk with any action. I do not believe that these three members of this board have the intention of doing anything honorable. Even Washington questioned why the Democrat Party would put ballot questions on there asking about the courthouse. It's like, I dare anybody ask the citizens what they really want the Board of Commission to do or what they would like to see done. Let me go to here. Clayton Warwick put something up here. So Clayton, you're right. The land plan seems too fluid. Only Planning Commission is only a recommended body. Their opinion can be ignored completely. That's 100%. That commission can be ignored completely. And what I believe we should do is that we should have the commission themselves should have public hearings. They should have town halls. They should go out to the community, find out what the community wants to do, and then implement that land plan. That's what should happen. I mean, yeah, it's nice to have the zoning and planning commission, that board to be able to look at things, but ultimately, at the end of the day, they're there to enforce the codes and the zoning we have in play. If they recommend something that we shouldn't do, but the zoning and code says we can, then all somebody has to do is go and sue us, and we're forced to make it happen because we allow it by our zoning laws, our ordinances. So we need to, the zoning and planning commission can only recommend on what's in the ordinances. So we need to update, correct our ordinance. Our ordinances need to match what we want to do in the county. Do we really want high density housing in Rockdale County, one of the second smallest landmass county in the state of Georgia? The answer to that, the citizens of this county will definitely say, no, we do not want high density housing and people living on top of each other in this county. It makes no sense to do that. But you've got a group of greedy individuals who are trying to grow a tax base when you don't have room to grow a tax base because you can't grow land. And they're willing to want to change the zoning so that you can do high density And that's what this commission wants to do, because they don't want to listen to the citizens of Rockdale County who want a little elbow room. They want to be able to live on a nice piece of land and not be jammed right next to a neighbor. I mean, and that's what I do where I'm at. I mean, I have nobody close to me. I live on an acre of land, and people, and the people across the road 20 acres away. Person behind me 3 or 4 acres away. Person to the left of me is several acres away too. So that's the kind of life I want to live, and it's how most people want to live. They don't want somebody right on top of them, and it's the reason they moved to Rockdale County is because they want that peace of mind, and they don't want someone building a house or a duplex or an apartment complex right on top of them. But that's not what this Board of Commission intends to do with the land. They intend to have high density housing. And you hear them talking all the time, affordable housing, affordable housing, affordable housing. Well, what is affordable housing? What does that look like? And what does it do to communities in Rockdale County? And what does it do to home values in Rockdale County? That's what I ask. And these are the things that this county commission needs to look at before they hastily make decisions regarding land use in Rockdale County. And like I said, I want you guys to come out to that town hall next Tuesday, and I'll discuss this, and I'll discuss a lot more. I mean, anything that I'm asked, I'm going to give an honest answer to. I'll give you what I think, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I give you my plans and what I would like to see happen. But at the end of the day, the way I believe representative government works and only can work if elected officials actually represent their constituents and actually go into that office and carry out the will of the people. That's the only way that representative government works. And that's what I intend to do if eventually I'm elected to office. I will actually represent the citizens of Rockdale County. I will seek them out. I will have town halls. I will have meetings. I will have one commissioner meeting a month, an extra meeting, or it's just a question and answer thing where people can come in and ask questions of the commission and we answer. It'll best be a Q&A thing. Instead of 3 minutes of public comment, one of the first things I want to do is change it to 5 minutes of public comment. And then I want to have a thing where people can come in and they can ask three or four questions. Let's just say 4 questions. You can come in and ask 4 questions of the commissioners. And if there's only 5 or 6 people sign up, then we'll ask more than that. But if we've got a dozen, 15 people sign up, we'll stick to it. But we'll, just like the current chairman, we'll be flexible with those rules. But we're going to be flexible to the end to where it's advantage taxpayers, advantage citizen, advantage stakeholder in this county, not advantage bureaucrats and board of commission. Another thing that I'm going to do if I'm elected to chairman of Rockdale County, there will be no more charging for open records requests. An administration that I run will be open, transparent. If somebody asks for an open records request for some information, they will get that, because you already, the individuals they're trying to charge you an hourly rate for to get you that information, you, the taxpayers of Rockdale County, are already paying these out-of-county people their salaries. So we shouldn't have to pay them additional money to do their job and answer a question about what their government is doing for them. So as chairman of Rockdale County, I will implement a policy that all open records requests will be given to the citizens and free. They will be, and it should be done that way, because citizens should know what government is doing. We should be transparent. We shouldn't try to hide things. And if they are trying to hide things, then they're not doing the right thing. Anytime government hides stuff from you, the citizen, they are involved in shenanigans and they're not doing the right thing. I have spoken enough tonight, guys, because I'll tell you, I'm going to be traveling this week. I will be back Sunday to do the show. But again, I want to do a shout out to Voices for Rockdale for everything they're doing about collecting these signatures for this House Bill 1102 so we can increase our host exemption so you, the taxpayers of Rockdale County, can recognize tax relief. I do want to, before I go, the citizens of DeKalb County got their host modified in 2017. It was the Democrat elected officials of DeKalb County who did this. That they went right in. They said, "Listen, we feel that we're double dipping. We've already got a SPLOST, which takes care of capital expenditures, but we're taking 50. Then they were taking 50% of the host, and eventually, people in Rockdale County, these characters will end up taking 50% of your host because as the debt they're putting us in, they are going to just be doing money grabs, anything they can do to get money. But the DeKalb County politicians recognized that they already had a funding mechanism for capital expenditure, and it was called the host. Rockdale County, the SPLOST. Rockdale County already has a funding mechanism for capital expenditures also, and it is also called the SPLOST. And by the county dipping into the host funds, they are double dipping. So it's time to reset Rockdale, make a difference, sign this petition. So if you're going out to early vote, look at the sidewalk toward West Avenue, right in front of the election building. You'll see Voices for Rockdale there collecting signatures. I encourage everyone to go sign that petition so you can give yourself a tax relief. Then again, this is Larry Cox. It's been great talking to you guys this evening, and I look forward to seeing you all Sunday evening. So help me and help everyone reset Rockdale. Thank you and good night.